Hey everyone, and welcome. In today's explainer, we're taking on a massive, almost unbelievable goal. We're talking about building a side hustle that eventually generates a six-figure monthly income. Yeah, you heard that right, $100,000 a month. Now, I know it sounds like a complete pipe dream, but when you actually break it down into a highly structured, updated blueprint for 2026, it transforms from this wild fantasy into a very real, highly actionable strategy. We're going to map out exactly what that journey looks like right from day one.
Okay, let's dive right into this. $100,000. I just want you to anchor your mind on this figure for a second. It's a massive number, right? It's literally life-changing. But right off the bat, I want to be perfectly clear and totally grounded here. You're not going to hit this number next week, next month, or frankly, probably even next year. But this is our ultimate long-term destination. It represents the absolute pinnacle of scaling an online business. And if we want to reach this peak, we have to start with the right mindset and the exact right expectations.
Now I know exactly what you might be thinking. You've probably seen 1,000 ads promising guaranteed overnight success, flaunting totally fake success stories, and just pushing endless get-rich-quick scams. It is exhausting, and honestly, your skepticism is completely validated. That's exactly why this explainer is different. We're throwing those fantasies right out the window and replacing them with a realistic, fact-based 2026 strategy guide. No fake promises, no guaranteed income, just a practical blueprint that requires actual time, genuine skill building, and real consistent effort.
So to cut straight through the fluff, here is our structured game plan for today. We'll start with the side hustle reality check, move into choosing and learning skills, and then tackle landing your first sale. After that, we'll look at reinvesting to scale up, talk about avoiding common beginner mistakes, and finally wrap up with the final long-term roadmap. All right, let's kick things off with part one, the side hustle reality check. Before we can build anything, we really have to ask a tough question. Why do so many people fail at building an online business? Well, usually it's because they misunderstand the assignment entirely. So let's fix that right now. In the context of 2026, a side hustle isn't just driving for a rideshare app or taking online surveys for pennies. No, it's a scalable business model built over time through specialized skills and consistent effort. It is definitely not an overnight guarantee. The crucial takeaway here is that if you want those high income levels, you absolutely have to adopt a realistic, long-term business owner mindset from the very first hour. You are building an asset, not just trading your time for a quick hourly wage. Moving right along to part two, choosing and learning skills.
Now, this step is honestly one of the most exciting parts of the whole journey, because this is where you decide what your future business is actually going to look like. These are the heavy hitters for 2026. Freelancing, affiliate marketing, YouTube automation, digital products, AI services, and online agencies. Just to be clear, concepts like YouTube automation simply mean you're outsourcing the scriptwriting and editing to run a channel entirely hands-free. Or AI services, that might mean building an online agency where you set up chatbots for local real estate agents. What unites every single one of these models is one magic word: scalability. At first, sure, you might be manually setting up a basic AI chatbot for one client, but eventually, you can package that service, hire a small team, or use software to deliver that exact same value to 50 clients at once without working 50 times harder. That inherent ability to scale way beyond just trading your time for money is the secret ingredient here.
But here's the absolute best part, and I really need to emphasize this strongly. You do not need to buy a $3,000 course to start. You can master the necessary skills completely for free. Seriously, the internet is absolutely flooded with high-quality, free educational resources. Whether you're learning basic video editing for your YouTube automation channel or wrapping your head around prompt engineering to offer AI services, your goal as a beginner is to invest your time, not your cash. Learn the foundations thoroughly and do it for free before you ever spend a single dime on your business.
Okay, part three, landing your first sale. This is it, the emotional breakthrough. When you're just starting out, your attention needs absolute laser focus. Direct all of your newly learned skills and energy toward getting that very first customer. Why? Because that first sale validates your entire idea. It proves that someone in the real world is actually willing to pull out their credit card and pay for what you offer. Look, you shouldn't be worrying about incorporating an LLC or agonizing over a perfect logo or building some massive, overly complicated website yet. None of that matters right now. Focus entirely on securing the first client. Because once you get that single transaction, it creates this incredible psychological momentum that just fuels your drive to keep going and keep growing.
Which brings us to part four, reinvesting to scale up.
So once you have a little trickle of income, it's time to shift your mindset from a solo freelancer to a true business strategist.
As a beginner, naturally, you're doing everything manually. You work solo and your prices are low just to attract those initial clients. And hey, that's totally fine for month one. But to actually scale, you take those first few $100 in profit and you don't go spend it on yourself. You aggressively reinvest it. You buy software to automate repetitive tasks. You hire virtual assistants to handle the boring admin work. You improve your service delivery, which directly allows you to increase your prices. This is the exact mechanical process that transforms a tired, solo side hustle into a real, breathing, scaling operation.
Let's put all of this into perspective with a realistic timeline. Month 1 is entirely about learning those core skills. Month 3, that's about grinding for those first validating sales. Year 1 is really about surviving, reinvesting your profits, and beginning to automate operations. And honestly, it isn't until year 3 or beyond that you truly begin scaling toward that high-income, $100,000 a month territory. Growing from absolute zero to a massive business takes years of consistent, compounding effort. It doesn't happen in days. It is a marathon, not a sprint, for sure.
Next up, Part 5, Avoiding Common Beginner Mistakes.
I need to take a serious tone here for just a moment because these pitfalls, they are the absolute killers of the modern side hustle. These traps catch incredibly smart, talented beginners every single day. Expecting quick results will completely destroy your motivation when month 2 isn't super profitable. Believing false promises of guaranteed income will just lead you to buy useless courses instead of actually doing the hard work. Skipping the skill building phase means your end product is going to be terrible. And failing to reinvest your profits? Well, that means you'll trap yourself in the beginner phase forever, ultimately burning out from trying to do everything manually. Remember those realistic expectations we set at the very beginning of this explainer? Stick to them and you'll navigate right past every single one of these traps.
Finally, let's look at Part 6, the final long-term roadmap.
We've covered a ton of ground today, so let's tie this whole shebang together so you can walk away with absolute clarity. Here is your journey from absolute beginner to advanced business owner, simplified into 5 actionable steps. I want you to take a mental picture of this practical plan. Step 1, choose a scalable model like AI services or digital products. Step 2, learn the underlying skills for completely free. Step 3, relentlessly pursue that first client to validate your offer. Step 4, take whatever money you make, reinvest it, and improve your systems. And Step 5, just keep repeating Step 4 until you slowly scale toward that high-income peak. This is it, your complete, practical, no-nonsense plan.
So what does this all mean for you? I'll leave you with a final provocative question. Which side hustle are you going to start today? The blueprint is literally in your hands. The timeline is highly realistic and the path is remarkably clear. It just requires you to actually take that very first step. Share the path you're choosing in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get to work.